I got asked a lot of questions about Space Station 14. Most of them completely ridiculous. A lot of them I've answered before. So I'm making a video answering your biggest Space Station 14 questions. And questions from other things that are unrelated too, because those got mixed in. I did ask for just questions in general, so here we go, I guess. Woo! Also, watch me build an ice rink in the background. Real quick though, subscribe to make funny number go up and make me happy. Also, ask whatever questions you want down below in this comment section. If I get enough and I get interesting comments and questions, I will do that again, this video again, answering those questions. Anyway, let's get to the questions people ask now, shall we? The first question I have is a simple one. What is the greatest loot you found in mains / just lying around? This one actually turns out is an entire China link, the grenade launcher. I don't know why it was just lying around, but I just found it in the middle of the hall in a bag, and it just kind of was there. I don't know why it was there, and like I just kind of walked around with it on my back and just accepted security taking it when they saw me, because it was really funny. They shat their pants so hard. Oh, I wish I had that recorded. My god, it was awesome. What is your favorite style of killing / weapon as an antagonist? Simple question with an equally simple answer. I really don't think anything can match the power of just the simple E-sword. It just does so much damage, it's functionally infinite. I don't think much can really match it. It's a bit loud though, but above all else, my favorite method of killing is just tossing people into the super matter. I don't know why, but I get away with it every time I do it. Seriously. Like, what are you supposed to do when they just are disintegrated? Sec can't research anything. There's no evidence of it, because they're just ashes now. It's great. Thoughts about where? On Rico, I don't think there's a single person that thinks about where as often as you do. I don't know. It's where. I like the derivatives off of where, like the hue. The juice that makes you wet pisses me off, because some guy will just go around hypopetting everyone with wet juice and the entire station is wet, and it makes my audio sound like doo-doo fart. So, what is your favorite item in the uplink? That is a question I have pondered a lot, and without fail, it's always come back to the voice mask. I love the fact that just the simple act of talking and disguising your voice as like the captain or security or NG or whatever can just cause so much chaos. I got an entire round completely ended once I had my objectives done by just lying about the fact that the Singula was loose as the chief engineer over comms. It was great. No one bothered to check before evac arrived. Oh, that was a good one. I wish I had that one recorded as well. Have you been enjoying Starlight and Funky? I'll talk about Starlight first, because this is it's kind of a doozy. I don't play on Starlight anymore. At least not on the like MRP minus server, because of just the downhill progress of their roleplay expectations level. Like, for me, I enjoy straight middle-of-the-road MRP. A server where I am both allowed to completely mess around, and a server where I am completely allowed and expected to be serious. Like, half of my funky rounds, like the Death Pit, like the Armored MMA one, which, I'll admit, I wish that performed better. The Death Pit round, the SMD Lambing round, and the Blood Cult round are perfect examples of what MRP should be. It's people taking serious situations seriously and stupid situations seriously. where there's pretty much no gamification and where I could literally end the entire round by screwing up the super matter and people don't complain at LOC. Seriously. I had a round where I accidentally delaminated the super matter and OBS broke because of course it goddamn did. And I didn't get point. I didn't have a single person complaining in OOC after the round. It's just a good server. And Starlight, unfortunately, kind of invited the mauled disease of people that take the game way too seriously and don't really contribute to the medium roleplay aspect and keep it closer to low roleplay. There's a couple other issues that I'd like to talk about as well in full, such as the fact that a person who knew very well who I was on the staff team proceeded to threaten me with a week-long ban for changing my name and a couple other issues involving really stupid changes that they refused to retract because of the vision, despite the entire community just hating them. It's just, there's just kind of a lot. I might make a full video on it. I'm not too sure yet. I'm sort of waiting to see if the new head moderator, which, by the way, that's another big thing. They've gone through, like, they're on their 4th head moderator, and this one's doing their best, but it's really hard to pull a server out of the death spiral that it's kind of currently in, especially when upper management just seems to completely disagree on everything. And that's not even me, like, saying, like, oh, I have insider knowledge or whatever. Like, I could just kind of tell what the head moderators say their ideal for the server is, and what the owner says their ideal for the server is, and what their developers say the ideal for the server is. They clash really badly. And I hope they could, like, rectify that, but at the moment, I don't think it's going to be that easy. Funky, though, has been perfect. Mostly because, and I say this in the greatest possible way, the nicest way, everyone who runs Funky is a fucking nobody. Like, nobody who runs Funky is anyone to SS13 or SS14. And I'm pretty sure most of the head devs for, like, Funky have never played 13. And that's a good thing. Like, there's no drama, there's no bullshit. It's a whitelist, so I don't have to deal with people raiding the server specifically to kill me, which, yes, is an issue whenever I play on Starlight, which isn't a Starlight issue. It's just kind of something that happens on public servers, because, like, I frequent a public server, people come raid it to try and kill me because, yeah, I killed YouTuber or whatever. I don't get it. But, yeah, Funky has been frankly ideal. I love Funky. I have no complaints. It's a really good server run by really cool people, and they've been nothing but pleasant. Nothing but pleasant. A non-SS14 question. What's your favorite music artist, and what kind of music do you listen to? This I have 3 answers for. I have been a longtime fan of Jonathan Young, and mostly his original stuff, but a bit of his covers. I like his Helldivers album a lot, but Children of Night is by far like my favorite album he's produced. I also like Caleb Hiles. I'm super excited for Darkness Before the Dawn to finally come out, but In One Breath is just such a perfect album. It's just, In One Breath is so good because it's mostly just him, Caleb, doing everything and just making, like, all the creative decisions with occasional help from his friends. And that kind of raw soul is something that's hard to come by in today's, like, you know, money-driven world and all that crap. As for a band, though, I really like I Prevail. I especially like their recent album, True Power. I wish they made songs faster, but, you know, you can't rush a good thing or else it'll come out, like, half-baked or whatever. And I also like Bloody Wood, mostly because it's just, like, their last song, Tadka, was just them singing about how much is that a goddamn monkey with a hollow parasite? Sorry, it's just them singing about how good, like, their parents make food. which can't really argue with that, can you? It's great. Ow, I'm being shot by a Sekov. God damn it. Sword reveal? Okay, sure, here you go. Hey, sorry if the quality of this is, like, terrible or whatever, but this is my blade. Blade's called Sanction. It's a bit rusty because I haven't properly cleaned the bastard in a long time. I really did do that, but yeah, that's my sword reveal done. Whee! Could you make a mapping tutorial? No. Lilton Head has already done one, and there hasn't really been anything that would make his tutorial outdated, and it's kind of redundant. Like, again, we are SS14 content creators. It takes us, like, a bit to cover every single piece of content, and again, this game's a goldmine. There's a lot that has not been covered in proper tutorials, which I'm still slowly but surely chipping away at. So, yeah, I'm not going to recover something Lilton's already done when I could just instead make something that's never been covered, like Funky Medical, which is a video that's coming, just not on the priority list because of the poll that I put out, so, you know. Thoughts on the relatively new IPCs? The IPCs have a problem where they're just kind of better than every other species. Like, they're radiation immune. They are cold immune in most circumstances and don't take direct damage from heat or cold, instead just shutting down. They don't have to eat. They don't have to drink. They don't just walk out in space, so they can wear armor in space and still be just as effective because they don't take spacing damage. And above all that, they still have a ridiculous amount of damage resistances to pretty much everything. There's no reason to play anything else than an IPC. I still play human and, Peach, because he's Peach Andrew. He's my guy. Like, I am Peach Andrew. Peach Andrew's me. And to stop playing Peach would require me to throw away all of the lore that I've created for him. Problem is, though, IPCs are just flat out busted. A fix that I would make for them is make them, like, extremely vulnerable to limb damage. Because, they're a robot, their limbs are, like, more fragile or whatever. Just give them some weakness besides, like, EMPs. Because EMPs are not that common, and you shouldn't have to use an EMP just to fight a single person that would normally be vulnerable to just getting beaten over the head with a bat, They're broken. They're broken. Best server in terms of content/features. That is a hard question, because in terms of raw, like, stuff that's in the game, it's Goob, but because of the nature of half the additions to Goob, it's just, like, compounded shitcode that's just incredibly difficult to work with for other servers. Funky has been importing a lot of features from different servers and doing some features on their own and making them unique to themselves, but for raw content, it's RMC. It's just, you can't compete with RMC because they straight up just made an entirely different game. Like, RMC is consistently the highest population server for a pretty damn good reason, and that's because every server is on there. Like I've gone on to RMC and I've met with people that played Frontier, that play Goob, that play Delta, that play Starlight, that play Funky. Like, WizDead, every server is on, like, RMC. You could, like, there's just a massive overlap. Like, and then there's the people that have never played any other server besides RMC, which are weird, because RMC is a high difficulty server. You kind of need to know what you're doing before playing on RMC, but in terms of raw content/features, it's RMC. And if I had to pick a server that wasn't RMC and featured more, normal Space Station 14 content, it would probably be Funky, because they are importing features from other servers. With permission, of course. That's not a diss to Funky. They're doing it with permission, and it's frankly a good thing that Funky is importing a lot of different features. And I believe features should be shared between servers more often, like, Again, Space Station 14, by its nature, is a collaborative project. I don't think locking each other out of content is a good thing for the longevity of the game or any server in particular. Do you believe that 14 will ever reach the content variety / quantity that 13 has? Yes, absolutely. The thing about Space Station 13 is it is plagued by an incredibly high barrier to entry. Like, seriously, you have to figure out Beyond, then figure out the incredibly jank control scheme with, you know, all the jank that comes with pressing the buttons and even typing. Like, there's so much horrendous jank to play 13 that it's denying a lot of players just by virtue of it existing. Then we have 14, where you can just play 14, and while the controls are still not great, you can easily get in and just play the game pretty easily. And I think that's part of what makes 14 likely to very quickly get more content and more players than 13, because the speed at which development happens is directly proportional to the size of the player base. And that's something a lot of people take for granted. This is an open source game. A lot of people have learned to code for the first time just to fix that one annoying bug that's been annoying them the entire time, or to deal with, like, some random feature that's not properly added that they want to fix up, or to code their own features that they want to deal with. Like, because 14 is an open source game and anyone can add anything, it's gonna eventually get to the same level of content of 13. Now, 13, of course, is also open source. A lot of servers are. The difference here is that Space Station 14 is a rapidly growing game. Very rapidly. Like, hell, my own YouTube statistics are proof enough that 14 is growing rapidly. And eventually that'll club to eclipse 13's player size, if it hasn't already. I don't even know what the hell 13's player size even is. But at the end of the day, it will. The answer to your question is a unequivocal, very enthusiastic yes, absolutely. Do you play Passenger sometimes? If so, what do you usually do as El Tider Supreme? I play Tider very often. And usually what I do whenever I play Tider is I'm playing it because I'm bored and don't feel like trying too hard to do anything interesting or play medical or any of my usual roles, or sec. I just don't really feel like doing much. So what I end up doing is I just screw around. Like, one round in a round that I am currently working on, the Blood Cult round, I literally created an entire, situation out of dragging a girder around because I just decided, screw it, I feel like dragging a girder around and calling it Steve. And that's kind of the beauty of Space Station. You can just make whatever happen by just doing the stupidest possible things. And dragging around a literal girder is definitely one of the stupidest things. But yeah, usually I find a gimmick and commit to it as hard as possible. Even if it ends up with me in perma, which, yeah, last shift I played, I got into a fight with a character that called me Peach, and beat them up with boxing gloves until Sec eventually perma-bricked me for my crimes of beating them with boxing gloves for calling me Peach Anger. Which, you know what? Fucking worth it. I regret absolutely nothing about that shift. That was great, dude. If you could pivot entirely to variety content with the same viewer retention as your SS14 videos, would you? This is the question that every YouTuber asks. And for me, I don't actually know. Like, on one hand, the Space Station 14 community has been, nothing but amazing to just be around and be in. Seriously, you guys are, a mostly infinite beacon of positive, forces. And it's been going good. It's going good. I like it here. The issue is, though, SS14 isn't exactly, the biggest game in the world or whatever. So the entire problem comes along where If I could, yes, I would. But I wouldn't quit SS14 entirely. Like, I love SS14. It's great. It's a great game. I love it. I love the community, love the mechanics, just love playing it. It's fun. But on the other hand, you know, gotta go where the views are. It's a bit of half and half. Like, mostly whenever I do a video that isn't SS14, it's because I'm experiencing burnout, because there's always so many times you can stare at pixel game and not get a goddamn aneurysm. But I guess the answer to this question is, I don't know. I really just don't know. Will you ever do a station review on Sultern? If I ever end up playing on Sultern and do like a full or at least half a round on Sultern, I would. I generally have a rule of Space Station where I don't do a station review on a map that I have never played. Like, it's just kind of not fair to the mapper, because looking at it from above with a, you know, perfect viewpoint and viewing everything perfectly and whatever, and, you know, with full lighting, doesn't really do it justice. It doesn't do playing it justice. So, if I end up playing Sulter, I'll probably do a review on it, but at the moment, I just don't play any servers that have Sulter in rotation. So, maybe. The answer is maybe. Here's an easy one. Favorite gimmick on any role? This is an easy question. My favorite gimmick on any role is to be an engineer that threatens to Singulus, or an atmospheric technician that threatens to Plasma Flood over the absolute slightest and biggest of non-issues. Like, someone mildly threatens me, Singulus. Someone dares to have a disagreement with me, Tesla loose. Someone dares to exist and have other things and science like fucking has an anomaly in my department, DLAM the super matter. Not even a question. The correct answer is always delaminate the super matter. I don't actually do it, but it's just funny to thread it, you know? Favorite soup? Wonton or does pho count as soup? Does pho count as soup? I guess chicken, or sorry, not chicken, beef pho. I guess if that counts as soup, yeah. Anyway, that's it for Wise questions. I'm just gonna go through the rest of the questions real quick. Not gonna show them on screen because most questions I don't have a proper or interesting answer for. Machine Hop has, I don't know what you're referring to. Do a backflip. I am way too fat for that. Cargodia is independent state. No, screw off. Cargodia is not interesting if you do it every goddamn round, which they always do. And I have no idea what the SS3D project is. The best cloud bits I've seen, I don't really have an answer for that. I haven't seen a really interesting cloud bit that's actually memorable in a while. Mostly they're just annoying and using cloud as an excuse to be a rat bastard the entire shift. What is your favorite? I don't know what the hell that means. Can you play 14 Marine Corps? RMC? Yes, I have played RMC in the past. I made a couple videos on it. Let me know if you want more RMC videos, because I have not played that in a while. I've been trying to make a formal, like, fork or spork on it, but, like, it's way too complicated to cover everything. What is love? Maybe to hurt me no more. Pigeon Delta V. I don't play Delta V. How to sell Suck God Cloud Edition? That's a video suggestion. I don't know why you would want to do that. Tesla Taster. God damn it, don't. Tax evasion. No, don't do tax evasion. The IRS/CRA/whatever will come for you. They are very resilient. And the last question, and the biggest one, is what the heck is a channel member? Yeah, that's right. It's time to shill. Woo. 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 Anyway, channel members are Quack, Some Kitty Cat, Dipski, Samuel Vittles, Smelly Possum, Jello Criminal, Vanilla, Loltart, Billy, Carlander, Northstar, Ride the Pain, IDGPF, Biko Woo, Beat Me, Plantic123, Weapons Warrior, Phil Timo, Admiral Obvious, and that guy that asked a question earlier, Sathier Lapin. You can become a channel member by clicking the join button, and you get to force me to add something to P Station. And you also support the channel. Yeah. You support channel, me play channel, me game very epic good gamer. Yeah. Okay, that's it for the video now. Bye-bye.